Pastor Hudson will lead us in the invocation.
Praise your God, we come this evening. We thank you for this day. We thank you again for the freedoms we have, the safety we have. If you would be with us this evening as we discuss people's business. Lord, we do pray for our firemen, policemen, our military, those who protect us. You would bless them and protect them. Again, thank you for our blessings. Forgive us for taking things for granted in this nation. In your son's name we pray. Amen.
Deputy Fire Chief Berger will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk Faulkner, will you have the roll call, please?
Steve Arnott.
Here.
Mike Scipio.
Here.
Doug Fletchman.
Here.
Greg Hudson.
Here.
Greg Wolf.
Here.
Bonnie Thompson.
Present.
Jim Hughes.
Here.
Linda Vargas.
I'm here.
There being a quorum present, I declare the August 19, 2019 meeting of the Dunbar City Council in order. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes for the August 5th, 2019 meeting.
Second.
There's been a motion by Councilman Scipio to approve the minutes of the August 5th, 2019 council meeting as circulated. Seconded by Councilman Arnott. Any questions, comments? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Abstentions? Being none, motion carries. The next item on the agenda is recognition of firefighter Jordan Kistner for completing the 3-year apprenticeship program through the Department of Labor. Chief Thornhill.
Thank you, sir.
Our firefighters, when we hire them, just like electricians and other things, are put into an apprenticeship program. And ours is 3 years long, and it actually encompasses 6,000 hours of training that they have to go through. And that 6,000 hours is challenging more for some. Anyway, at the end of that 6,000 hours of training, we submit to the Department of Labor, and independently they are tested. And then if they pass that test, they're certified by the Department of Labor as a professionally qualified firefighter. And they get to keep their job. That's right. Jordan here has excelled in everything we've thrown at him. His actual anniversary date is September 12th. So a little bit ahead of schedule. We're allowed to do that. But I want to bring him in front of everybody, present his certificate to him from the Department of Labor. I've got nothing but good to say about him. We're tickled to death to have him. We're thankful. I'm very proud of him. And I'll present you his certificate. Congratulations.
Well, it's custom for us to say something small. Not much of a speaker, more of an action kind of guy, but I'd say thank the council, thank my family for always supporting me no matter what, and the citizens of Dunbar. If it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be able to have the opportunities I have. My family wouldn't have the opportunities we have. And it goes without saying that I appreciate every single one of you all. And I hope that I can continue to do my best to make all the citizens safe and proud of us. But again, I thank everybody here.
Okay. Next on the agenda is invoices submitted for payment.
Mr. Chairman, I so move that we pay your invoices for this period totaling $120,424.05.
Second. There's been a motion by Councilman Hudson to approve invoices totaling $120,424.05. Seconded by Councilman Fletchman. Any comments, questions? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Abstentions? None. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is approval for repairs to the 2005 Ford senior van.
I move that we approve the total of $1,477.62 to Fleet Pride Truck and Trailer Parts for the senior van and air conditioning.
Second. There's been a motion by Councilwoman Bogus to approve making repairs to the 2005 Ford senior van AC in the amount of $1,477.62 by Fleet Pride Truck and Trailer Parts. And seconded by Councilman Hughes. Any questions, comments? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Abstentions, none. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is repairs to police cruiser number 45.
I'll make a motion that we approve the repairs to the AC on the Bush Cruiser number 45 for the amount of $1,346.85 by TLC2, which is a local company.
Second. There's been a motion by Councilman Fleischman to approve repairs to the AC and police cruiser number 45 in the amount of $1,346.85 by TLC2, a local business. Seconded by Councilman Wolf. Any further questions or comments? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? No. Abstentions? None. Motion carries. The next item is approval of bids for paving.
Make a motion that we approve street paving in the amount of $111,264.57.
I'll second. There's been a motion by Councilman Scipio to approve the award of contracts for paving in the amount of $111,264.57. Did I mention the contractor? Motion by West Virginia Paving. There again, it's $111,264.57.
And that's the only company that submitted the bid.
Second by Councilman Arnett. Any further comments or clarifications?
It'll take care of one area in Ward 4, I think, 1 and 2, and then 1 and 3, and then the other 9 areas will be in Ward 4.
Is anybody interested in hearing what a breakdown of those projects are? Okay. The first one is Myers Avenue, 12th to 13th Street. Item number 5 is Grandview Drive or Valley Drive in Grandview. Number 6 on the list was the railroad crossing at 12th Street on the north side of the railroad tracks. Number 11 was Anderson Drive, number 1, and then number 12 was the second part of Anderson Drive. And then there was a curve on Farmingdale that was deleted because Scotland out did that work, notified us at the finance meeting. Knox Avenue repair, Walnut Street at Garnet, and the bridge at Roxelana and Marks, the bridge at Roxelana and Roberts, the bridge at Roxelana and Steele, and a small section of the entrance to Shawnee Park on the access road. Any further questions?
Just make a comment, this leaves us some money in the budget for this year for the spring, you know, what happens in the winter, potholes. If you use all your money now, there's going to be things that come up in the winter. So the mayor and others agree we hold back. This will cover a lot, and then we have roughly 68,000 we can work with in the spring for potholes and some other repairs.
Any other questions, comments? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions, none. Motion carries. I think this marks an ongoing thing by this council to start taking aggressive action to address the issues on the streets that's been ignored for several years. This year alone, this was about $190,000 that we spent on road repairs here in the city of Dunbar since January this year. Next item on the agenda is approval to replace 3 computers in the clerk's office.
Make a motion, we replace 3 computers in the clerk's office, not to exceed 6,000.
Second.
Please. Doug Stetson.
What's going on?
There's been a motion on the floor to replace 3 computers in the clerk's office that are experiencing problems with Windows 7 operating system. For the record, one of them is totally crashed. One of them crashed and has been temporarily salvaged. Third is probably not too far away. At a cost not to exceed $6,000. The motion was seconded by Councilman Arnott. Any further questions, comments? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions, none. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the purchase of a new computer for the mayor's office.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we purchase a new computer for the mayor's office at a cost not to exceed $389.99.
Second. To make a note, that's a refurbished computer, not brand new computer.
Correct. There's been a motion to approve the purchase of a computer, a refurbished computer for the mayor's office at a cost not to exceed $389.99 by Councilman Wolf, seconded by Councilman Scipio. Any further comment or question? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions, none. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is fire hose for the fire department.
Make a motion that we approve the purchase of 21 50-foot sections of an 1 3/4 pack line at a cost of $3,105. Second.
There's been a motion by Councilman Fleshman to approve the purchase of 21 50-foot sections of 1 3/4 inch tack hose at a cost of $3,105. Seconded by Councilman Scipio. Any further clarification or comment? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions? None. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is approval to purchase 2 sets of bunker gear.
I'll make a motion, we approve the purchase of 2 sets of bunker gear, total price $4,708.
A second.
That's for the fire department.
Pardon?
That's just for the fire department.
Just to the citizens out there, if you're not familiar with the phrase bunker gear, that's their,
Turnout gear.
yeah, when there's a fire, that's what they're wearing.
There's been a motion by Councilman Scipio to approve the purchase of 2 sets of bunker gear at a cost of $2,364 per set, for a total of $4,708. Seconded by Councilman Bogus. Any further clarification, comment? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions? None. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is replacement of a hydraulic cylinder on the garbage truck.
I'll make a motion, we approve the replacement of the cylinder, West Virginia tractor on the garbage truck in the amount of $1,500.
Second.
There's been a motion by Councilman Scipio for the approval of the replacement of the hydraulic cylinder on the garbage truck at a cost of not to exceed $1,500 by West Virginia Tractor. Seconded by Councilman Fleshman. Any further comments or clarifications? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions? None. The motion carries. Next item on the agenda is approval to replace the headlight assembly in Unit 40.
Make a motion, we approve the replacement of the headlight assembly in Unit 40, excuse me, or Cruiser 40, for the police department, at a cost of $1,840.51. And if I'm not wrong, I think this includes a computer and everything that has to be tied into that.
It's all one assembly, it's not like we used to change headlights, you walk down
Right.
the door and change headlights, now it's the whole assembly.
Probably part of
Valves
the
and
fender and everything. Okay,
White valve.
I just wanted to clarify. Oh, for Todd Judy Ford, that's not what it is. For Todd Judy Ford.
Second. Can you second?
Yeah, I made the motion, I can't say.
There's been a motion by Councilman Fleshman to approve the replacement headlight assembly in Unit 40 by Todd Judy Ford at a cost of $1,840.51. Seconded by Councilman Hughes. Any further clarification or comments? LED lights are in your cars are not all they're cracked up to be at this price. When they go out, they go out. Okay, being nothing else, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions, none, motion carries. I entertain a motion at this time to add an emergency item.
Second.
There's been a motion by Councilman Scipio to add an emergency item to the agenda, seconded by Councilman Hudson. Speak to that item.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion. What this is about is our main dump truck for hauling blacktop and other things that we need desperately right now. The rear end was tore out of it the other day. So we have an estimate from Athene Motors Nitro for $4,227.49. And so I'll present that in the form of a motion.
I'll second.
There's been a motion by Councilman Hudson to approve repair and replacement of the rear end in the 2001 dump truck by Athene Motors at a cost of $4,227.49. Seconded by Councilman Scipio. Any further question, comment, or clarification? That truck only has 48,000 miles on it, so it's definitely worth making the investment.
I was gonna buy a Scott new one, but they wouldn't go with me, because they say it costs $90,000. We're gonna put it on Scott's wish list though.
Any further clarification or comment? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions, none. Motion carries. Okay. They all look anxious, don't they? Look at it. They don't seem excited. Chief Moss always gets to go first.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor, Council, citizens, yes. First, I want to thank everyone who came out for the National Night Out, whether you participated or volunteered. A lot of people here. Thanks for helping us get that done. Holsters, I believe, we're in. We'll be going through the range soon and transition over to new firearms. We'll be getting notices if you'd like to come out, spend some range time with us. The cert class kind of filled up. I think we've got some reserves that are going to go to the class September 13, 14, 15. So that opened up 3 or 4 spaces in the October 3rd cert class. It starts October 3rd. Every Thursday for 8 weeks, minus Halloween and Thanksgiving. If you'd like to pick up an application in the station and participate in that, we'd like to have you. And thank the reserve chief for all you've done in getting that set up with Jen. Getting this on track. Any questions? I'll take it on. Thank you, Chief. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
I'm just curious, do we still have a noise ordinance in Dunbar?
We do the noise ordinance reads amplified or unnecessary. There's not really a time frame. So if it's amplified or unnecessary, and that's kind of a discretion we have to use.
8 o'clock on Sunday morning?
Depends on what it is.
It is amplified and unnecessary.
Amplified or unnecessary.
Chief Thornton.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. I'll be quick. I don't have much of a voice. Jordan, tomorrow doesn't know it yet, but next time I see him, I'm making him public information officer speaking. Okay, we're going to see.
And he sat on the desk.
No, he set a bad example now, after all that good. He teach him everything.
True colors.
The fire department, as you all know, been working on the inspections. We completed those. Our count is 264 businesses that we inspected in the city. Found a few things that we're working through. A couple repeat offenders that we're dealing with. Nothing really out of the ordinary. There was one that was really out of whack that I've talked with Hugh about. We're working on that. Dow Chemical, back 3 or 4 months back, I think I told you I applied for Dow Chemical for some grant money for our training room. We did get that. And we've been working on that, upgrading the training room, new television, part for all of our stuff, instead of the old projectors, place that television with that money. Works better with our computers and all of our online training. even on Bridge Street training, that was all online. All the guys that pitched in, we had one hard on all that. I'm sorry? Yeah, and the police department. I'm on.
For training?
Oh, yeah. I want to thank you all for approving on the gear and the hose. I really appreciate that. And, one last thing, we're still working very, very hard. This week is finishing up extra credit stuff for ISO. It'll be in on the 29th, next Thursday, for our evaluation. We're doing extra credit now, which means going out and actually looking at the whole entire community from a response perspective of capability. How many actual buildings that are not residential in the city, things like that. We're going above and beyond trying to reach those, that better rate. Wish us luck, we're trying with everything we have. So that's what we're busy. Outside of that, that's all I have, I'll take anyone's questions. Yes, ma'am.
At a previous meeting, you mentioned that to burn within the city, you have to have permit.
Yes.
Apparently in our group, our community watch group, there was a post about somebody burning fire in the middle of the street between 18th and 19th Street.
Okay.
So I thought the fire department might want to be aware of that.
Well, yeah, somebody needs to call.
Well, that was my question to them. Did you call the fire department because everyone's supposed to have a permit? Well, they never answered me, so.
But the fire department did show up.
Did they? Okay, but I didn't know whether they knew it or not. Because the person never responded to me because I told them, you need to call the fire department.
Yeah, absolutely, call 911.
Especially in this heat, that's dangerous.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes, you do. You're burning inside the city. Call the fire department, we'll give you a burn permit. Unless the atmosphere or anything weird's going on that we just think it's a bad idea for you to burn.
Right.
Otherwise, we'll just give you the permit, burn it good. But make sure to call the same day you want to do it.
I think this was our.
We will. We'll tell you what you can and cannot. What you can is really small, what you can't is everything else.
Yeah.
Basically, limbs, leaves, natural vegetation. I'm sorry?
Yes, Marquez and 10th Street. You got any information?
I do, but it's not complete.
Right.
I don't have enough complete information. But I am getting, going back and touching base with the original manufacturer plus a newer manufacturer that seems to be doing some work in the area. We're getting some information back. One of the big things, the price is really high on those things if you pay them to do installation. If the city is willing to unbolt what's there and bolt right down the new one and run power to it, that knocks a good $4,000 or $5,000 on any of it. So it's incomplete information at this point. I'm working.
Okay. Mr. Dawson, Sanitary Board.
Council, Mayor, citizens, we finished up 24th Street up to the top of the hill with drains today. We've got one sinkhole we need to inspect a little bit better. Tomorrow we plan on moving on to Moore Avenue at 1201 Moore Avenue. We have a sinkhole there and just doing general maintenance around the plant. If there are any questions, I'll answer them at this time. Thank you.
Have you had a chance to around inspect all the drains, including what's up around Pine Circle and everything?
We have repaired one of them, and we are still waiting on that contract to finish up that job totally. And we'll go in there and fix those right.
Yeah, there's about 20 of them up around through there that are stopped up or being cleaned out bad.
We'll take a look.
I have pictures of all of them if you need them.
I gave you the full list.
Do you have somebody operating the backer truck now? Do you have?
On an emergency basis,
He's actually talking about the street sweeper.
Streets.
Oh, we put it out when we can.
Who's talking about the streets?
You.
No, I asked about the backer truck.
Yes.
Clean out the drop in.
We have 3 or 4 people.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You asked about the street sweep.
Well, that was earlier.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay, that's all right.
You're empty with this thing.
But you're trying to go around and if we turn west end, the ones that need to be cleaned out by fall.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Next, building inspector, Hugh Leisure.
The Mayor, council, citizens, we've been doing quite a bit of concrete work around town. Seeing, we did some behind the council Scipios in the alley behind one club. That's 50 feet of new alley, which is called pulverized. We just did, that was last Monday. Friday, we did, a big section, 42 feet over on Payne Avenue between 19th and 20th where we had the road crushed. We have a small section, about half the same square footage as this table on 22nd Street, but we're going to have to notify the people up there first because we're going to have to route traffic around it and move parking and things like that. So that probably won't be another week or so. I spoke to Tracy Cunningham, PLC Construction, about the storm sewer bids, storm drain bids up on West Moreland and Hope. Spoke to him this evening on my way home, and he's going to start off moving equipment and supplies in the morning. And do those going, we'll do both of them at once. Each will personally going to do West Moreland, but the other one is so he can have the guy still dealing with the homeless population. I was over talking to people at Subway today. There were 3 months. They said every time they show up in the morning, there's 15, 20 people camped out back.
Yeah.
So call those in to us. Let us know where you're seeing them. We'll do everything we can to control them, boarding up houses. Trying to we had 2 houses torn down in the last 2 weeks. One was on the county list. They were on 400 block 19th Street, and the other one was if the owners had it torn down, 21 West Virginia. So we're losing some of the worst houses, and we're just keep whittling it down. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, I got approved for another $5,000 from the state for another demo. We've got 2 on our list for those, and I'm just waiting for the money to be released. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, someone mentioned to me about Graziano, it's one of the whole flood of people staying out, then the customers can't get in and out the door, and just letting you know.
They're staying out front.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't want to go through that to get into,
Obviously.
you know, obviously. And they're being told, the employees are being told that their paying customers can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Same thing with McDonald's.
Same thing McDonald's, right?
Well, I mean, we literally cannot stop them from standing on the sidewalk or the street or obstructing the sidewalk and refuse to move. You know, the police can deal with that.
The sad part about that is it deters good citizens from going to those establishments, which I don't understand why the businesses don't see that that's a detriment to their business. Because I'm not gonna go through it, I'll go somewhere else to eat. I will not go in there.
But we talked about having the businesses shut off their Wi-Fi outside.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to go into the building, and I think that will help if we can get everybody to cooperate. If you see businesses that have outside outlets that are exposed, tell them, you suggest to them to turn it off, just throw the fuse on it, the breaker on it, and disable it. So we got to be real careful how we handle them because they're citizens just like we are.
I had someone to tell me, this is another case, but I haven't shared it with my mom or anybody till right now, that they went in Ollie's, and it's somebody that's in the wheelchair, I don't know which one, I don't know, it doesn't matter. And they defecated all over the place. And the employee was a new employee and had to go clean it up. So after about 2 or 3 times of that, because they kept coming in there, she quit. Said, I'm not getting paid enough to do this, you know. So I don't know what the answer is.
You would think if somebody came in and consistently did something like that, they would just ban them from the store.
Exactly.
Call the police.
Yeah.
Take care first.
This town doesn't touch those things.
So it's only been bad, I'm saying, my time, it got up at 11 o'clock. It was late and sleeping in front of the business.
understand.
Chief, is there not any kind of ordinance that says something about when you say, you know, about these people, that they actually are residents? Do they not have to prove that they're a resident, they have a home or something?
According to the Constitution of the United States, you cannot restrict movement by any citizen anywhere.
That's crazy. Excuse me. No, you all didn't make the law.
Basically, there isn't any vagrancy anymore.
Oh, there's gotta be better.
We don't even have drunk tanks anymore.
If you have computers at home, go on and look for yourself a commitment. I don't mean any harsh way, but the answer's right there is what we can and cannot do.
We're very restricted.
You cannot restrict whether they're a resident or
I
not.
have, I work very hard because I try to keep my yard really pretty. And outside my driveway and my garage, I just statue like that, concrete benches, and I got beautiful flowers there, and I put 5 really pretty lanterns that light at night. They stole all 5 of them. It's the only thing that's funny. They can't do anything with it because they forgot to steal the base.
But the base is correct.
Wow. We don't, do not know if homeless is still those lines, right? We have other people
Well,
that have places to live.
I tell you
but
what,
also
if
go
I
in
drive
there,
around
that's the other.
Dunbar and I see
I know.
my lanterns on
I know,
somebody's
but-
property, they're
Call
gonna
the
know
police.
they were stolen
Call the police.
because I can't
Well,
stand
you won't probably see them, they're probably been sold.
it. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the house on the corner, 19th and Fletcher, that was boarded up,
Right,
it's now unboarded,
right.
is that supposed to be unboarded?
Yes, it is. They were boarded up because of no utilities. They got all their utilities in compliance. I'm waiting till the end of the month to see what happens. We'll just go from there.
Okay,
That's,
You
and you found
put all the trash they leave around town. Did you make them pick that up?
you gotta see them do it. We can slide them for littering.
You know,
I've seen them do it.
you know they're doing
I've asked
Take
them.
a picture.
I know it's hard, but these are misdemeanors that are committed outside of an officer's presence. So they would have to get a warrant, they would have to have a description and preferably a photo of whoever's doing it. And, I'll get you here in a second.
Trash in front of your house.
I know, it's frustrating. It's frustrating for you all. It's very frustrating for us because we're trying to keep you all happy and we just have a really difficult time of doing what we can legally do.
I just been making some vagrants as well as
You know, you, I have to agree with you to a point. Because you and I have a mutual friend that's a landlord, that you and I both know. And I was talking to him the other day, and he said, you know, it's so funny. He says, they gotta have somewhere to live.
They do, but it doesn't have to be an abandoned
I
house.
see, and that's what I told him. And he said, well, I said, yeah. I said, I'm trying to be a law-abiding citizen. I said, we track the car home up 3 nights. This is what? He said, Dunbar law? That's what he said.
We enforce what we can.
Somebody stole one of our garbage cans. Scotty has an idea of recycling, and you would be surprised. And let's think about all this stuff that's going into the ground around our area. We recycle, and you do a real good job of recycling, take it down to this place. It really does reduce the amount of trash you have.
So, and I do have a question, you just talked about this being a misdemeanor a few minutes ago, about some items going on around town. So what is considered a felony?
Felonies are basically capital crimes, murder, embezzlement, fraud.
What about the amount of tools that were stolen at our house?
How much?
$4,600.
Felony. Did they break into the,
His truck.
Yeah.
they broke into the truck? So,
It's right.
you can get a felony amount on the price of the things, but they're not gonna charge
And I
you
have to
for
pay
it.
$1,000 deductible too, and so these are devolved tools, and they're part of his business, you know?
Does he have all the serial numbers and model numbers?
We got,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm getting it replaced, so my homeowners is probably going to either raise or cancel.
One thing to do, under state law, anything that's taken to a pawn shop has to be put into a logbook and turned into the local police department,
Okay.
okay? I'm not saying they all do it, they do some of it, I'm sure they don't do all of it, but that's the only tool the police have to work off of. But if you have lawnmowers and bicycles, because, you know, it's kind of funny to see a 40-year-old guy riding a little girl's bicycle.
Right,
You know? So if you have children or neighbors or whoever, you know, record all your model numbers and your serial numbers, take a photo of it, you know, note any particular markings, tool markings or anything on it. Those are things you can do, and just put them on the thumb drive. So if they do get stolen, you have permanent access to them, and the police can put it
That's
out.
exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm taking pictures of all the new stuff that we have.
The easiest way to do it is get your white piece of paper, Sharpie, right? It's a Yardman lawnmower, serial number, blah, 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 model number, blah, set it down beside it, take a picture. You got permanent record. Yes, ma'am.
Have you been able to get any resolution to my empty house next to 435 on 20?
No, I'm not yet. I'm still trying to figure out who actually owns it. One guy says he owns it, you know, taxes say one guy owns it, he says he doesn't.
He sold it to the other guy.
Right, but until I can get through the assessor's office as to who actually did the last transaction on it, I can't prove who owns it.
That's
And
it.
it's not registered with the city.
That's the same thing I got. You talk about the water in the line there.
That the old garage out back.
When I called, they gave me the owner's phone number, and I called him, and he says that it's not mine.
So until the assessors update their information, I'm kind of in a holding pattern. I haven't got you.
I do have another
It's
question.
ruining the side, you know, it's ruining the house.
My other question is, what can I do about, we have rental property up on Fletcher, which you know where it's at. We have somebody that we know is stealing my tenant's water. I mean, okay.
The police can come up. That's the theft of a
It's
utility.
Elijah Powell is who it is.
That's theft of a utility. It's a crime.
Okay.
Not life-ending event, but it is a crime. If they don't have water in the house, they don't have sewer in the house. And everybody to live in a house, you have to have electric, water, and sewer, and they all have to be active accounts. Okay? And that's what I kick a lot of people out of houses on board up, is because of that. Because they'll have 15 people live in a house that has no utilities, and it quickly becomes unsanitary.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else, and we'll move on to the next one. All yours, Phil.
No, not-
When we, does KRT have to with the,
Yes.
they have, they were not allowed to,
We're not gonna take responsibility for it. I want to give them about 5 more days to cure it, before they start hammering.
I didn't know who would do that, or we were.
We just didn't want to hammer drill the slab.
I understand that, I just didn't know who was gonna do it, that's what KRT.
That's already been arranged.
Okay.
Thank you for passing Payne Avenue. How much longer do that do comes there? And the reason I'm asking, 2 people parked on the opposite side of the street today and totally blocked it off.
Those guys will be there for at least another week, because I don't want any heavy trucks, that's 8-inch thick concrete.
Is there any way that somebody can put no parking signs?
Temporary no parking signs in that area.
I don't have any signs, but
I
if
drove,
someone call when they're there, we can come take it.
2 of them pretty much permanent fixtures there.
Yes.
but you can, I drove down there over the weekend and this week, and they look like they're close, but there's plenty of room to get around.
You park beside those cones, sir.
Oh,
You can't get through there. That's where they're parking, right?
You know, that's what common sense would kind of come into play.
I know, but you gotta consider who lives in that house.
How about those slabs? We have a park.
About what?
Yeah, if you see it, just please just call.
It's 42 feet
Four.
long. We're gonna let it cure for a couple more days. Well, I was kind of concerned about that, somebody might.
I'll just go down there and get no parking signs, put stakes in the ground, put them up myself, I'll take care of it.
Well, we can just have the police run their.
That's fine, I'll just put no parking signs, that's gonna take care of the problem.
Okay, Mr. Elliott.
Mayor, council, citizens, as usual, we're, I appreciate it, getting the trucks fixed, we need those bad. We've been out patching holes, putting up speed bumps, fixing street signs, picking up a lot of limbs. We're not allowed to take care of the limbs at the dump anymore, so we have the chipper set up at the office down there. Yeah. Anybody has a pickup truck and wants to take their own stuff down there, bring it to us, we'll chip it up. Otherwise, you stay on the list till we get down to you. Still working on the pavement, still working on the streets, fixing the holes in all the different streets, the major holes now. So staying busy with all that, keeping up with the trash. 3 trucks is hard to, two trash trucks running 2 times to the dump a day. It's getting old. So hopefully we can get some of them fixed and get them out here and get a lot more cleaned up. That's all I have. If anybody has any questions.
They're on 19th Street and Payne Avenue. There is a huge section of concrete that is just heaped up.
That's not there no more.
That's just.
When did you get rid of it?
They poured it Friday.
Okay, I was walking.
It's 42 feet long right there as you come out of the alley.
Yeah.
Yes, they just
All
poured it
part of
all
the,
brand new.
West Virginia Water Company, does that have something?
Didn't find any water leakage, so we just went ahead and repaired it.
Good, 'cause I tell you, if you were walking there, you could easily fall.
There was a car that actually got stuck on one of the rocks and flipped upside down, and so we got fixed.
Scott, that's one of the rocks on the road here, that thrift store went out of business, put it out of the trash out.
They have a dumpster service.
Well, they came by today and picked up the water.
Is Mark Mason the landlord still?
Yes.
We'll get a hold of Mark and have him clean it up.
Well, there's a fence there, that's the old fence there, and some more other stuff that needs to be done.
I'll call Mark first. I'll take care of it.
Thank
I don't know if you put more gravel in my alley, but I think you did, and I want to thank you. Because it was getting pretty roller coaster, and it's nice and smooth now. Thank you. Appreciate it. I do go slow. But if you got big old holes, you can't help it. But it's not now. It looks real nice.
I think he was.
Oh, last question. Have they finished working down there by the middle school?
We paved a lot of that this morning, or this afternoon, actually, it's a nice heat. So I believe they got it finished, and now we've moved up to a major hole on 17th Street and West Virginia or Myers Avenue. I'm not sure which one it is. I sent them to it this afternoon. They gotta go get more in the morning to fix it.
Yeah, because I know
The ones down there by the school are fixed.
trying to get around.
You're talking about down by the tennis courts?
Yeah.
They're fixed.
Oh, okay. Well, I had to go over that development.
Don't want that being active with it. Dead end.
That was more so him than me. They, whenever I get to the point that I can't handle everything, they'll bail me out.
That's brush running.
We'll be blacktopping hopefully in the next couple of weeks. And we can't get just enough asphalt to do those little jobs.
Right.
So if I get 3 or 4 and then go back and do them all.
Thank you.
It's improved, it's improved right now.
Yeah.
Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Mayor.
First thing, we have closed the pool for the season. We closed it down last week. We already started doing some repairs, getting ready for next season. Next thing, the event we got coming up, our big event is the Fall Festival, which is September 20th to 21st. If anybody, I don't know if you're going to wrestling down at the rec center the other night, pretty packed house. Well, they're going to be out here for the Fall Festival on that Friday night, doing a free show. You're going down.
I got a gun, so
Also, citywide yard sale is coming up. It'll be the first Saturday in October, October 5th. We don't get no money out of it. You call us down there, we'll put your address on the list and a little bit brief description of what you're selling. And we'll bring it, set it out in 3 different places around town with a map of the town. And people come into town and go out to each individual house. We're gonna bring up a few things maybe to go along with that on Wednesday's meeting. Joey and I will bring up to the Recreation Committee on a few things. And then Boom Bash is the 26th of October, starts at 6 o'clock at the Rec Center. Love to have everybody out again. Great time, good for the kids, businesses, churches, everybody gets involved. It's a great night. Come out, help, we need volunteers. I know who you are.
Okay, you do.
That's probably our last biggest thing for the year, for the whole thing, except for the Christmas parade. And the Christmas parade, is going to be on the first Friday night in December. Starring yours truly.
Whoa.
He's pushing.
Who's pushing?
Hey, Bud, what time is the Boom Bash start?
6.
6.
We'll, by the next meeting, I'll have a little bit more information on it. We're gonna go over a few things, on Wednesday's meeting too about it, so a little bit more clarification and all. Other than that, I have nothing, sir.
Well, what's the phone number to, if you want to call and get your address on the city like that?
304-766-0223. I'll have a sheet there, and whoever answers the phone will write it down, then I'll put it into, on a spreadsheet, and then do it by street, avenue. I know how to do it right.
No, we have no hours on that.
No, you can start anytime you want to. It's Saturday, we'll put it in the paper. Like I said, we'll put it up in 3 different locations around town so people can pick them up.
Did anyone talk to you about possibly having the city parking lot on Dunbar Avenue available for people to set tables up to?
That's one thing. We're going to talk about that and possibly the Rec Center. I was going to bring that up that day, see what the community you thought about.
I'm sorry, I put the hearing aid out, I can't hardly hear when I talk about the parking.
Oh.
Kind of cut you off there. Okay, public comments. Yes, sir.
Mayor Cunningham, City Council members. My name is Rick Martin. I live on Valley Drive. I'm a 25-plus year resident of Dunbar. I'd like to first of all commend and thank the council for approving the paving that will take place on Valley Drive here before too long, I hope. But I would like to point out and encourage council to take some expedited actions, if you will, on what I understand in conversations with Mr. Leishman and then with Councilman Hudson on a nuisance property ordinance. I have a house up on Grandview that's been abandoned for probably 4 years. About 6 months ago or longer, one of the trees on the property fell over onto a tree on my property, and my tree is holding it up. Now, before too long, what's going to happen is going to put enough pressure on the tree on my property, and it's going to fall over on my roof. Our building inspector has sent notice to the property owner. He is unresponsive, but I think 3 to 4 years of a house being abandoned, Chapter 16 of the West Virginia Code, that's the urban renewal law. I don't think necessarily that that's appropriate in this instance, but certainly there is some language in that urban renewal law, because this situation.
We currently don't have an active renewal.
I know
urban renewal, so we would have to constitute that.
I understand.
Implement that section of the code.
I understand that, sir. My point is that this situation does constitute a public safety issue. It is slum, it is blighted, it it constitutes a health, a safety, a welfare detriment to the residents in that area. There ought to be something that can be done after 4 years. The foundation is bad, the deck is detached, insulation is falling out, animals and critters are inhabiting the vacated structure. And in my judgment, I don't know, I questioned before, does the city bear any liability for not taking appropriate action against the homeowner, particularly with this tree situation? Could the city not have the tree situation addressed and bill the owner? Because if it falls on I'm going to have to sue him if it damages my property. So anyway, I would urge council to do something expedited on this nuisance property issue, because this is really a tenuous situation I'm dealing with, and I think 4 years is too long.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to make a motion to council and citizens of Dunbar. The access up to Lower Anderson Lake was actually instrumental done by my dad before he passed. And I'd like to see if they cannot make it Dan Reed Drive or Dan Reed Dock, the new dock that they placed up there, because he was the one that was instrumental in getting access for that before he passed.
I would recommend you put something in writing to the council, and I'm sure they will take it up and under consideration. I mean, we can't take any action on anything that's not on the agenda.
Right.
So you put something in writing, and I'm sure council will entertain it and give it due consideration. Yes, ma'am.
I was just curious on why 3 computers would cost up to $6,000.
But 6,000 total.
6,000 total.
2,000, up to 2,000 each, including all the software
This is
operations.
software that costs.
Yeah, these are actually the billing computers in the clerk's office that actually is the real brain of City Hall. Everything, budget-wise and everything goes through those machines. So it's not just as simple as buying a.
Is that a typo about that?
Pardon?
Is it a typing error? Where you read it, it says approval to replace 3 new computers.
Well, to replace three computers with, it's probably a typo, yeah. But those are not new computers, those are old computers.
Dramatic.
And they probably won't cost that much. One went out Wednesday, second went out Tuesday, or the next day, and we were able to get the second one up. And I'm still waiting for quotes, so we put it high so that we could make sure we got it covered.
It also includes them coming down
Yeah,
and
that would
doing
reprogram
in-house work and transferring and programming and doing everything. It's just not as simple as going to Best Buy and buying a computer and dropping it in there.
Are they still Windows 7?
Yes.
And they're wanting to take Windows 10?
No, we have to take it.
Yeah, last week I had that.
Yeah, 7's long gone.
Last week, the last meeting, sounds like a big improvement.
Those are the same computers that do the payroll and all the personnel.
Everything.
Yes, ma'am.
And they are 8, 9, 10 years old. They were bought before I get here.
So are these the same computers going to generate property owners that don't pay into the?
Generates everything. It's
The whole people that don't pay, right?
people that do pay and the ones that don't pay. Yes, ma'am.
Our community watch meeting, if some of the people that are here tonight weren't at our last meeting, we are having a planning committee meeting at 5:30 tomorrow evening downstairs for the fall festival. So if any of y'all want to help us, we absolutely take any volunteers. We get that. Thank you.
Okay.
If the senior citizen
Downstairs, yes, ma'am, 5:30 tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Also like to commend Chief Bill Moss on the job he's done with the help of the officers he's had. I know he's had a shortage for officers, and I'm assuming that they're getting back up to par we need fixed. But, I think Chief does a great job.
He has. It's been very challenging. I mean, not only for Dunbar, but all across the All Valley. We're experiencing things that big cities have been dealing with for decades, and it's just now starting to hit the smaller communities. It's devastating for the community to try to figure out how to deal with what's happening to our social structure. It's really disheartening. Anybody else? Councilman Gardner.
Good. Glad you're back home.
The gentleman on the back row that's coming, what exactly is your address in Grandview?
837 Valley Drive.
Oh, Valley, okay, I'm sorry. And the lady on the back row, you're asking about the boarded up house on 19th Street and Fletcher Avenue. I live 4 houses down from there, so believe me, I'm watching everything they're doing. So, work time their utilities are cut off again, it will be reboarded. That's all I have.
They were living up there.
I just wanted to say the National Night Out was very good. It's the first time I got to attend, because I worked too much. But, I want to, my understanding, Officer Westman, the organizer, he did an awesome job. It was a very good turnout, and the kids enjoyed it, and I was very pleased with it.
Thank everybody for coming out, and again, thank our department heads for the job they do. I appreciate Lonzo along with the citizens.
I'd like to invite everybody out to our neighborhood watch, which we have the second Thursday of every month here at City Hall. Starts at 6:30 downstairs, sometimes up here, but like there's some new faces here tonight. Love to have you come out. We usually have between about 40 to 50 some people coming out now. We're breaking our wards down into captains and ward chiefs, and hopefully we're going to be doing some great things here in the next few more months to get this thing promoted along with the department. So the next one will be the 8th of September. Will be our next neighborhood watch meeting. Also, with the neighborhood watch and the safe community, we're having a cookout on September the 28th over at Kroger's. We're having hot dogs and hamburgers and refreshments. We're kind of joint ventured with actually what Kroger's has. They love having everybody over there to donate a lot of the food and drinks and chips and stuff. And so we'll be having a hot dog and hamburger sale over there on the 28th from 10 to 2. Is that correct, girls?
Yes.
Thank you, and thank you and all the department heads and stuff that you're doing a wonderful job.
Oh,
Want to remind everybody that a week from Thursday is the community lunch, and it's going to be up at City Park. And everyone's invited. Lunch will be ready for everybody. Just come up and enjoy it. And I mean, it's always good when we have it downstairs too, but it's good. It'll be inside the building. The cooking will go on outside, right?
Actually, it's the senior lunch, not an everybody lunch.
Oh, I thought you were calling it community lunch.
No, it's the senior lunch.
Well, everybody here qualifies, so that's good.
Not everybody. Now, 3 of the table maybe. Hey, I'm still in my 40s.
Who's in their 40s?
But,
My last.
I was gonna say the end of your 40s. You're stretching it.
it's a free meal, are you going to?
I won't be in case of board, I'm sorry.
He only gets to eat if we serve it.
Okay. And then also for the fall festival, our Dunbar seniors are making a whole lot of different things that we're going to be selling. And some of the stuff, we can't keep it made fast enough because employees are buying it. But we're doing neat stuff. We're doing pumpkins, and we did some bicycle ornaments, and we painted some pumpkins, yeah, those, and some other wooden cutouts. They're really cute. I mean, they really are. And we're not going to ask a fortune for them. So come out and support your Dunbar seniors. Yes, Barbara.
Linda, also with that, we have garnered a display case, so you will be able to see what some of the seniors have been doing. Now, that what's in that display case will not be for sale, but it's classes that we're building classes for everybody to come, for the whole town, so that you can see actually what's going on, so that we can build our numbers that are downstairs. So we do have that, thanks to Beach. He's got one, so he's gonna let us use it for the contest.
Good. So come out and see what the seniors are doing. I mean, it's cute stuff. They're doing really good with it. It surprised you by how artistic some of them are. But come out and enjoy, have fun.
The proceeds from the items that they're making will go into a fund for them to go on trips. When they go, it'll take care of the transportation and their meals and so forth. If they want to go to Hawk's Nest or wherever, so that's what we're trying to do, is let them be involved in generating these things, and working with it. Going back to one thing with the sanitary board, the reason they haven't been able to probably work up to the level that they have probably 2 years ago, they're about five people understaffed. Yeah, we're 5 people understaffed, and the revenue, most of that is due to some financial issues they had without getting a rate increase in a timely manner, some other items with bad debt from West Dunbar PSD. So we're starting to recover now, and we'll soon be able to start hiring. Probably, I think Bernie's looking at hiring within the next week to 2 weeks, but trying to find certified and licensed people to hold those spots. Kind of like trying to find firemen and police. But anyway, we're working on it, and once they get their staff up to where it was, I think a lot of the items that we've been lacking on will be picked up on and things start moving.
Is there a certain thing that they can do to get certified? What are they?
They certify them as they come. They say
Really?
they're qualified candidates.
Okay, because we have somebody's looking for.
Them come down to see me and I'll give them an application.
Okay, we'll do. Thank you.
I mean, they have, in order to be licensed and certified, they've got to have a high school diploma and cannot have a felony.
He used to work at Rome long as a security guard. He just, how they shut him down and, get him out of there. So he lost his job. And closing it down.
Anything else?
That's all I have. Pardon? Mr. Mayor, for the good of the order, if there's no other city business, I move we adjourn this meeting. Second.
One.